Hello everyone, my name is Jason and I am an ISFP. This video is the 8th video in my series on defining the core purpose of each type. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the INTJ. And when I say the core purpose, what I really mean, or what I'm really trying to say, is sort of the core motivation. What is going on in the mind of each of the personality types that really motivates them to be who they are, to think like they think, and to do what they do. My methodology for this series is that I have identified certain theories, certain attempts that people have made to group some personality types together by commonalities, by aspects of their personality type that can be lumped together. And then those theories that I've come across attempt then to define a part of or an aspect of each personality type based on those commonalities or based on those groupings. So that's what I'm going to be doing here for the INTJ. So with the INTJ, I'm going to do this a little bit backward than the way I've done the first 7 of these. With the first 7, I looked at some of what I thought were the less crucial aspects of the personality, or the less crucial grouping that each type belonged to. And I worked my way to what I believe to be the real heart and soul issue. With the INTJ, I'm going to do it backwards. I'm going to start with the heart and soul issue. And so the heart and soul issue for the INTJ is the fact that they fall within the group of IJs. INTJs are IJs. And the core motivation of the IJ is some form of order or security or hanging out within the known. It's a need for structure, okay? A need for organization, for lining things up, and then knowing how things will go. It really comes down to a need for some sort of order that then can be adhered to and looked at as almost a predictive aspect. And this order, or the establishment of this kind of an order, prevents disorder. It prevents being attacked or assaulted by the unknown. It prevents things from going off in an unpredictable and uncontrollable direction. So the INTJ is going to have a basic human need for control, a basic human need for order. Now, how does an INTJ, how can anyone go about establishing some sort of form of order and control in a world that is filled with so much uncertainty, filled with so much unpredictability, uncontrollability, and chaos? Well, it can be done, and it can be done in very different ways. So how does the INTJ strive or seek to do this? Well, another category that the INTJ falls into is that of the INT, which is the intellectual. And intellectuals, all of the INTs fall into this category, according to one theory anyway, and I think the theory holds water. All of the INTs are intellectuals. In other words, another way that I would put it is they're sort of puzzlers. They're trying to figure things out. They're trying to understand, concepts. They're trying to understand things. It's very important to the INT types that they're able to use their mind to deal with their problems, to deal with the complications of life, to figure out the things that need to be figured out in order to bring about the things that matter most to them. Now, what things would they be trying to figure out? Well, the INTJ falls into the INT category, intellectual. But the INT theory, or the theory that all INTs belong in a group called the intellectuals, is not the only theory about the INTs. Another theory about the INTs is that INTs, those who have some form of intuition and thinking as their two dominant functions, are trying in some way, shape, or form to figure things out or understand things in the abstract world. So the INTJ is seeking to understand abstract concepts, to use their intellect, their mind, to be able to then understand abstract concepts that can, when boiled down to some tangible, usable form, be harnessed for the purpose of creating order and preventing disorder, or preventing the bombardment and the assault of the unknown, the unpredictable, and the uncontrollable. Now, I would say here that INTJs are going to do this differently with their extroverted thinking than an INTP would with their introverted thinking. An INTP is going to be interested with their extroverted intuition and bringing in all sorts of ideas, and then trying to puzzle them, trying to figure them out, largely for the purpose of mere understanding. An INTJ, on the other hand, is going to be trying to drill down on an idea with their introverted intuition and make it work. Make it work in the real with their extroverted thinking. INTJs are looking, to a large degree, for an abstract idea that, if it can be made to work in the physical world, or in other words, if they can understand how to take an abstract concept or some abstract concepts and make them work in the known, in the flesh and blood, in the real world, then they can use that functioning idea to create an order, a tangible, put into practice idea that, when made to work with their TE and used in the physical world, can therefore create an order and bring control into an area where there otherwise might be chaos. So let me give you an example of something that might be able to fit into this arena. Let's say that someone, or that our world is dealing with an illness of some sort, or a disease. That disease could be looked at as disorder. That disease could be looked at as chaos. It could be looked at as something that is not controllable. And it introduces a measure of the unknown, the uncontrolled, the unfixable, the unresolvable into the world. And it brings with it pain and suffering and death and chaos and all sorts of things that could be looked upon by most as bad. If an INTJ could drill down on an idea that currently doesn't exist, like, let's say, a cure, and that idea could then be taken from the abstract world of just, it's an idea, and brought into, through the process of puzzling all of these abstract ideas together. All right, the INTJ is puzzling these ideas together and trying to drill them down, trying to take them from being a multitude of thoughts that are all branched out and bring them down and down and down and down to one uniform, overarching idea that could be put into practice and made to work, extroverted thinking, in the real world, so that, if done, it could introduce a cure to this particular illness, or in other words, it could create order and peace and harmony out of what was previously disorder and pain and disharmony and cacophony. The INTJ is seeking, in many respects, to look out into the abstract concepts that exist and find in there and drill down in there, drill down amongst all those concepts, drill down to the concept, the abstract truth that actually works in the land of people, so that order can be brought out of disorder and chaos. The INTJ seeks order. The INTJ seeks to be free from the onslaught of the unknown that pervasively finds its way into our lives and wreaks havoc on what our goals are, wreaks havoc on how we see our future going, wreaks havoc on the things that we're trying to do. Now, some of us, like myself, I don't particularly plan. I don't really have many goals, or I don't really have a vision for my future. But we all, at the very least, want things to go generally well for us as we progress day after day after day. And we've all had those times where we thought things would go a certain way, and yet, pardon me, and yet in amongst our daily, going through life thinking that things would turn out a certain way, it crept in unknown, unseen, unexpected, the chaos, the disorder, the destruction that ripped apart our plan. Now, for some people, as hard as that may be, they can roll with it to an extent. But for the INTJ, it is important, it's paramount that they do what they can to prevent that unexpected and unwanted disorder from creeping in to their structured, ordered, controlled, and planned out situation. And they do that, again, by drilling down on an abstract idea that could be implemented to bring order out of chaos. What I've done here in this video, for any of you who have not watched any of my previous videos in this series, I have taken 3 ideas. The idea of IJs being those who need control and order and security. I've taken the idea of INTs being intellectuals, and the third idea of INTs being those who are able to puzzle things out, figure things out, come to an understanding of things in the physical world. In the abstract world. Let me correct myself there. In the abstract world. And I've taken those 3 concepts and I've put them together to hopefully drill down on one more concise definition of what it is that goes on in the mind of the INTJ that drives them and motivates them to be who they are, do what they do, think like they think. I hope you found this useful. Please do leave comments. I do greatly appreciate all of your comments. If you found this at all useful, entertaining, whatever, give it a like. I would appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. That would be really awesome. You are watching my ISFP journey. Thank you to everyone who has already subscribed. Thank you to all of you who have watched this video. Please do subscribe and have an awesome day. Bye now.